Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tawana Rivers, the CEO of the 10K Project, and we are here this week again to love on and support another Black founder. We have a returning founder joining us this evening. You guys know I get excited when a founder comes back. That means to me they found value in the first time they came. And so thank you for loving on this founder enough that he wanted to come back and share his new opportunity with the 10K Project community. And so I want to introduce or re-welcome DJ, the money coach, to the community. He's brought some team members with him that he's going to introduce as we go. But DJ, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell us what's happening in Zanzibar.
Well, first and foremost, Tawana, thank you again for having us on the amazing 10K project. Is the best one on the planet for our professional community. And we applaud you for 4 years and bringing this together. And secondly, man, it's a great time to be alive. Zanzibar is rocking, and it's also a small world. We actually are so happy to be back. We had a great first time on the 10K project, raised good capital, met some amazing people, and actually we have partnered with a couple of people that we're going to introduce tonight. And going to show you how small of a world it is and how deep of a reach that we have as a community. So that's what we're excited about.
I love it. I love everything about that. All right. Yeah, the last time you came, I mean, after we finished that evening, I kept getting emails. This was awesome, such a great opportunity. Oh my gosh, we're going global, right? That's what people were sending me messages saying. And so I was so excited that they were excited. And so thank you again for your willingness to share this opportunity with the community. So often the community is left out of amazing projects. And so thank you very much for sharing this with us the first time around, and then now your new opportunities as well.
Absolutely. So we're going to hop right in because we actually heard what the 10K project people, they came in on the back end of a first round of investing that we were already closing. And tonight, Tawana, we actually are bringing you literally an exclusive.
Nice.
We're bringing you an exclusive on the ancillary businesses. So I just spent 6 weeks in Zanzibar, just got back a week ago yesterday, and I actually brought my president from Zanzibar with me, Mr. Tajir Green, that actually has been in Zanzibar for 6 months, and he just got back about a few days ago, literally. And we have live with us from Zanzibar, Shalamantu, who's our business partner that I've known for a year and a half. And he's going to tell you about some amazing technology that nobody has in Zanzibar but us. And then we're going to bring on our business concierge specialist that curates all of our trips to tie everything together to show you guys how amazing a platform that we have. And this is really a unique opportunity. I want to express and impress upon our community and the 10K project how small of a world is. I think 2 weeks ago, you had the Dream Exchange founders on your platform.
I did indeed.
Well, guess what?
Tell me what.
I've been knowing the head guy who actually handles all of the media, the marketing for the Dream Exchange for 30 years.
Wow.
And I'm actually going to share with you guys how small of a world is, how important it is for us to play cooperative economics, because we're actually going to be one of the first businesses registered on that exchange.
I love it. I love it. So I'm going to tell you something, DJ. Here's what's funny. So I have a meeting, and I think we're talking about the same person. So I have a meeting this week, and I created a list of founders I think already. Your name was on my list.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. That's great. That is fired up. So Tajir, if you can unmute yourself. Tajir is going to open up our presentation, and we're going to make it short, sweet. It's about 15 slides. And what we want to do is give your members a quick education. So I want them to take some quick notes real quickly. So this is housekeeping rules, shall we say. So I want to let people know that there's a doctor named Dr. Daniel Black. He's the professor emeritus at Clark University. And he works side by side with Professor and Dr. Greg Carr. I'm sure you guys have heard of these people. Greg Carr is a professor emeritus at Howard University. And they do a show And he talked about how we are always asking for reparations and validation and, pat on the back from the other guy. And he said, 500 years, we built this country. But what we don't realize is if we built this country, we can go build another country. I want y'all to catch that. 500 years, we built this country. We're asking for validation, reparations, power to the people. I'm good with that. But guess what? Since we built this country, we can go build another country. And that country is actually the continent of Africa. And so what we're going to show you that since we built in this country, and I'm talking now about us personally, Duransburg International and DJ the Money Coach, we built a portfolio over $60 million worth of assets in the residential sector, the commercial sector, the bill pay sector. We've done it also in the mobile home sector, and we also have done it in the technology sector. And the reason why I share this real quickly with you and your audience is that since we've done this, Tawana, since 2002, we don't have anything to prove anybody but go out and build it again on the motherland. And that's what we're about to do. Okay, so let's jump right in, and we're going to give you guys a quick 5-minute refresher of what we brought to you the first time, because this is an exclusive, because a lot of your members wanted to invest in our ancillary businesses, and we did not have that available for you for a reason that, one, we weren't ready to launch it, and two, the investors that were already on board with us prior to meeting you, they had first right to market. So now we actually have engaged into the second, fourth opportunity, and it's first for you guys. So take a bite out of Zanzibar real quickly, ladies and gentlemen, on the 10K project. The B is to buy 100 acres in Zanzibar. We already are about a quarter into that project. That's right. We're close to 25 acres of ownership and equity in Zanzibar. And what we're most proud about, Tawana, is that we own everything that we're showing you. We have 100% equity and 100% ownership. We have no discernible debt, and we have no boss, okay? The I is what we came for here tonight, is to invest in the ancillary businesses that support the ecosystem of the hospitality business in Zanzibar. And there's 5 ancillary businesses that are going to generate hundreds of millions of dollars over the next 36 months. And it's going to create a $1.3 billion economy. And we got the tiger by the tail. The T is to travel. And the E is to experience an exclusive bucket list trip with DJ the Money Coach. Thus, take a bite out of Zanzibar. We have a new saying, Tawana and the 10K project members. Why, tour Zanzibar when you can own Zanzibar? So with that said, Tajir, take me to the second page of this 10-page presentation. I just came back again from Zanzibar, spending 6 weeks there. And in the process of 2.5 years, we have raised over $3 million, actually, not 2.5. And we have built a luxury residential resort that's 220 units. It has the only Blue Lagoon white sand beach of its kind in all of Zanzibar, just like Mandalay Bay had in Vegas when they first opened up in the late 99, 98. We have 4 multi-million-dollar projects that we have in the process of completing. 3 out of 4 of them are just about 98% completed, which is another reason why I was there for 6 weeks, and another reason why Tajir, our president, has been there for 6 months consecutively. And now we're going to bring you the core of the ancillary services that will generate $20 million in business. And we have just purchased vehicles in this March. We have just began a car washing equipment purchase with our partners Shalamantu. And we have purchased new vans that we're going to deploy what's called a mobile car washing business. And we actually have hired staff as well this past month. And last but not least, this is all going to lead up to the grand finale of our beautiful Pom Pom Lifestyle Resort, which stands for Plenty of Money, Peace of Mind. That resort is going to open in December of 2025. So we are excited. Next slide. And this slide is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Tajir, is some videos of showing you exactly inside the resorts before we furnish them to actually have them available immediately come August. Rotate. I think in the share screen, Taja, you forgot to put the audio piece on. You know, that little audio box that comes up on Zoom?
Yep, one sec.
So yeah, there's two boxes that optimize audio, optimize picture. We always make that mistake. And again, ladies and gentlemen, my grandfather always told me that perfect is the enemy of great. And when you make a minor mistake, you just keep moving because this is nothing new to us.
Absolutely.
You might have to minimize it to have that box show. But what we're showing you right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is literally me 2 weeks ago going through each one of the premium units, which are 4 different types that you can actually partake in. You can stay, you can own, you can lease, and you can have equity in the entire resort itself. So that right there, that video was the entry to the 2-bedroom, 2-bath duplex that we have. This next video is actually going to take us into the actual 2-bedroom itself with the amazing view of the Blue Lagoon beach that we have right off the balcony. And you can see the craftsmanship of our resort. We literally, ladies and gentlemen, just completed this building, and this building will be fully occupied come August of this year. And this is, again, a $25 million project. And again, I want to emphasize this. We have no debt, 100% equity and ownership, and this is available to everyone in the 10K Project membership, the 10K Project founders, and the community. So as my father likes to say, nobody's broken the leather on this one except us. So you have efficiency, electricity, range stove, range oven. We're going to show you 2 master bedrooms. And then we're also going to show you ones that we already have fully furnished, but this is actually the latest building that actually completes the resort. And then we're going to have a major grand opening in December to celebrate everything we've done over the past 3 years. So as you're watching this video in silence, just look at the viewpoints that you'll have from each room. Literally, you can look through these windows and you can see the Blue Lagoon itself. And now I'm about to walk down the corridor after he showed these shots of the bathrooms and the masters again. And I'm going to walk out onto the amazing balcony and show you a spectacular panoramic view of the Blue Lagoon White Sand Beach and the Indian Ocean. Here we go. So I spoke a little too fast, but I'm almost certain this is the one where I'm about to take you out onto the balcony, ladies and gentlemen. And last time we were on here, I was not able to show you this because this building was not complete, but it is now absolutely complete, has been inspected and ready to make money for you and I. Look at that beautiful view. And the Indian Ocean is just right above the tree line. Look at that view. Is that not a view to die for, Tawana?
That
All
is
right.
indeed a beautiful view, sir.
That's right. And this is a dream being realized. And what I want to do right here is I want to embark again upon the community. I want to give you another assignment. I want you to watch these two movies over the next 3-4 days if you have the opportunity. If you're a serious investor, which I know you are because you wouldn't be a member of the 10K Project. So the first movie I want you to watch is called BlackBerry. Remember the phone BlackBerry by Research in Motion out of Canada? I actually had the benefit of watching that movie on my way home from Zanzibar, and it epitomizes what we actually are accomplishing in Zanzibar. And then the second movie, which is most important, Tawana, is a movie from 1991 called Strictly Business with Tommy Davidson and Halle Berry in it. And the importance of that movie is it shows how brothers and sisters come together and they actually make things happen in the heart of Harlem. And that's what this is really about, is how, one, we're visionaries like BlackBerry, and two, we come together and we make things work. Next slide, Tajir. So here's the exclusive, Tawana, for you and the 10K Project, exclusively for you guys. The resorts that we're building, the luxury townhouses, the condominiums, the beachfront properties and all of that, that is our ticket or our Trojan horse into the real money on the island. And this is phase 1 of 4 phases of ancillary businesses that we're about to embark upon. Commercial and residential cleaning. Why is that important? Because I have, since 1996 to 2008, I ran a very successful residential and commercial cleaning business that did 7 figures every year after the first 4 years I opened it. So we're going to dominate that sector of the business, and that business is going to be generated from the resort, the townhouses, the condominiums, and our partnership with over 5,000 homes that will be completed by 2027 with our master developer. I want to let that seep in. Think about this. What if you had opportunity to get 20% of 5,000 homes right in your backyard, and you have the exclusive right, first refusal, to offer them your cleaning and mobile car wash service? Would that be a tremendous value to the 10K Project members? What do you think about that, Tawana?
I would think that's a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely. And again, first right of refusal means I get to turn down the opportunity to get the business versus beg for the business. The second ancillary service in the same category is laundry services. The third one is the mobile car washing. And the fourth one, which is probably the women and the men's favorite, is the personal chef services. Each one of these services will initially start to generate about $100,000 to $1 million in revenue over the next 12 to 24 months. And then at the apex of 2027 to 2030, they will generate $5 million a piece. And I give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count, how I can guarantee that these revenues will come through us without speculating. Here's the answer. All of these services we have already rendered in the United States successfully for at least 10 years. And we're taking the blueprint and we're taking our captive audience and we're providing this in packages and also a la carte through our concierge service with Miss Financially Free D. Next slide. So the first one we're going to embark on exclusively for the 10K Project is an opportunity to get into the commercial and residential cleaning. And when we figure out how to turn the audio on, this is actually an actual cleaning that's being rendered by our professional cleaning services. And my professional cleaning service from 96 to 2008 was called White Glove Immaculate Services. And I actually serviced the second largest acrylic company in the world called Ashland Chemical. And also did majority of the luxury town development, townhouses, high rises, and penthouses in Chicagoland for that period of time. So we've already put groups together and we already hired staff. And right here, you're actually seeing them doing a cleaning to move somebody into this unit later on that day, no different than you have at any hotel, any condominium, any Airbnb, any VRBO. So tonight, we're offering your group an exclusive opportunity to invest in the commercial and a residential cleaning opportunity. And as you can see here, the returns are extraordinary. And these are very conservative as well. Next slide. So the next one that's a big business is the personal laundry business. And what I'm going to do real quickly here is I'm going to let Tajir explain why this is so important, because he stayed in Zanzibar for 6 months out of this year in 2024. Tajir, explain to the 10K Project members and Tawana how important personal laundry is, even for somebody who comes and stays for just 7 days, as opposed to staying for short-term leases, which is our core business of 3 to 6 months.
Of course. So throughout my time in Zanzibar, right, I'm doing a lot of traveling. It's extremely hot. So I'm like, okay, I'm back and forth from these meeting government officials, meeting people at other companies. And so I'm like, okay, I have a need to make sure I always have clean clothes, dry, clean clothes ready at my disposal because I'm always on the go. But then I realized, hey, the way that they do laundry in the laundry system is completely different. Every time laundry gets done, it takes like 2 to 3 days to have it completely done. The washing machines work differently and they don't really use dryers. So everything is an extended process, right? But I didn't really have time for that. So I had to constantly bring all of my clothes to a specific laundry place, which was one of its kind that would be able to wash and dry my clothes fully like we're used to having in America. But even that still took minimum 24 hours. So there was always a time gap between I was able to get my items for the things that I had to do. And then that's when a light bulb went off in my head. Hey, I've spent good money consistently on a weekly basis getting my clothes cleaned and brought back to me. So I'm like, I know if I'm experiencing this, I'm not the only one, because I know anybody from the United States or from anywhere that has a metropolitan kind of setup that is busy and has things to do, they're having the same problems. So that's what birthed the idea and concept for us to go ahead and get into this business so we can take back some of the money that we're spending.
Exactly. So again, these are the ancillary businesses that have to have services regardless if anyone is staying in the resorts, the condominium, the townhouses, etc. These are the sexy ones for owners and the non-sexy for people who are just tourists, if that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. These are the ones that are high profit margins and layups in terms of getting easy business once you have poured the cement to lay the foundation, which we have done for the past 2.5 years. So as you can see here, the returns are very strong, and these are immediate opportunities for you to actually invest with us tonight. Okay, so next slide, please. So this is the one that I am extremely excited about. And I'm going to ask Shalamantu to pop on the screen here, live from Zanzibar, as well as Darrenaeus live from Zanzibar. So we're bringing the whole team out to you tonight, Tawana, because we want to show you that we have an ecosystem. We have a team that's been together for years, and we have over collectively 100 years of expertise and experience in what we're doing. This is not our first rodeo. So we are fortunate enough to partner with Shalamantu, who's from Canada. And Shalamantu, explain to the audience real quickly, because we're going to allow you to pull up your slides, which Tajir is going to do, and explain to them why this is so important of the chess move that you helped us create by creating this mobile car wash business.
First of all, thanks for having me on, Tawana, 10K Project. How y'all doing? Yeah, it's good to be here. And we met last year, the Pom Pom group, the Pom Pom Lifestyle group, and myself, and we were on a similar trajectory. And this year we made it more official. And one of the things that we'll be doing is focusing on building Zanzibar, right? So the ancillary services is one of the things that's going to be happening, but there's so many opportunities out here that it's incredible, the amount. First of all, y'all can hear me okay, right?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Sir.
All right. All right. Yeah. So there was a need I felt out here to bring some of the more the newer type of technology for tools out here, right? So one of the services that we'll be talking about right now is the car wash, right? That's going to be a big one because one of the things that we can have in the United States easily is power tools that are powered by battery and not by cords, right? So if something happens out here where you can't get electricity, maybe the power goes out or you're out a little bit further, I had the idea to just have tools that you could use anywhere at any time as long as they're charged up. And so one of the types of tools that we brought out here were car washing tools, right? So we have a few pressure washers, and we feel that that's going to be a good fit, a good match up with what we're doing here with the Pom Pom crew. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and it's a lot of fun. In fact, I have some young men tomorrow morning. We're training them up to be able to wash cars. And there's a lot more than that with the tools, but this is where it all starts. There's just so many things that can happen out here and that are happening. It's a really exciting time. So we're happy to be working together and happy to be here with you, the 10K Project.
Absolutely. So can you explain to them, Shalamantu, the importance of the cordless power tools, the high tech and more? You can go to the next slide for them because we have something, Tawana, that nobody else has on the island because of the chess move that Shalamantu did. And Shalamantu, you can share a little bit of your background with the audience as well, please.
Yeah, my background is in real estate and construction and other things as well, but right now we'll focus on that. And I had decided to move my family out here this year because the opportunity that will be happening in Zanzibar, it's a fairly new opportunity to the world. It was an area that didn't have a lot of international investment until a few years ago, but now they've opened up their doors to a lot of us from the international community. So I felt that there was no time to waste to come out here and start fresh, start in Zanzibar, building with this community, and that's what we're doing right now. So the first step is focusing on, like I said, these power tools and bringing them here and being one step ahead of any competition out here, right? So we'll work with the community, but also we want to put ourselves in a position to be able to give the clients what they need right away in a different type of speed and probably in a high level of quality. So yeah, we're in a great position to do that, and we're in the process of it. So it's a lot of fun, and yeah, that's what's going on. So we partnered. One of the reasons that we partnered with DJ, the money coach in the Pom Pom Lifestyle movement, is because you can do so much by yourself, but you can move mountains with the community, right? And so that's one of the things that excites us, working together, and it'll be a partnership that lasts for a long time. And I hope that a lot of y'all join us too. It's an amazing opportunity, but like I said, we really enjoy ourselves. We got a lot of love for each other out here, and make a lot of money in the process. So it's a win-win-win-win. And we're back in the motherland, so a lot of us love that too. So we can go to the next slide, actually, there, brother.
Next slide, please. Well, you can see here, this
Yeah, so
is
that
a room. My bad. Go ahead and tell them this is where I got excited.
go ahead, brother. No, you go ahead. It's all right.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shalamantu has brought over to the island, probably conservatively, about $20,000 worth of power cordless tools. I'm talking about saws, buzz saws, mobile machinery, drills, all this commercial tools that actually are a huge advantage that even developers don't have. And you might find that hard to believe, but most of these developers, ladies and gentlemen, they're using the still old, pick and hammer to actually, create stuff. And Shalamantu has brought over the power commercial tools. And Shalamantu, this I would equate to, ladies and gentlemen, is like when we took the leap from CDs to MP3s. And when we took the leap from MP3s to streaming. So this is like Netflix going to Blockbuster Video and offering them opportunity to buy them out. And Blockbuster Video just laughed at them and said, you know what, Tawana, we got 7,000 locations. You little Netflix, you be lucky to be in business next year. This is exactly what we're talking about. So I hope you guys get this. So Shalamantu, wrap it up and tell them why this was so important that you brought these tools over and how immediately it's having an impact for us, not only in the mobile car washing business, but even in our current projects in the townhouses.
Yeah, you wrapped it up pretty nicely right there. But yeah, it's what it's doing is just it's allowing efficiency, right? And convenience. So if we want to, like I say, we have pressure washers so we can wash vehicles anywhere without needing it to be plugged in, or, you can just have a water source like a pail instead of having to be plugged into a hose. But also there's things like if we want to do woodworking, we got welders here, we got all the tools that it basically takes to build a home. We have the good majority of them here in the cordless, right? So what that just does is help us get to the next stage where we can get the job done for the client or the customer in a very fast time, in a convenient way. And like I say, this is just the beginning. This is something that my son and I have, like I said, I brought my family out here. I was 16-year-old, and we're happy to get involved in these types of projects, but and expand with the community and with Pom Pom. But yeah, like I say, this is just the beginning. This is a small bite out of Zanzibar. Wait till we start the full course meal. But yeah, I'm excited, and I hope y'all get excited too, because there's so much opportunity in so many different areas here, and DJ's put together a system and a vision that anyone should get on board if they knew how advanced it was. So I'm excited to be here with y'all, and yeah. So
awesome.
Come on down.
So
we're waiting for you.
One quick question to you, Shalamantu, because you've been in Zanzibar for about a year and a half, and you've come across a lot of expats, a lot of successful professionals. What separates DJ the Money Coach system versus those successful expats that made you wanted to join and be a partner with us when you could have partnered with anybody with your amazing power tools and your amazing construction engineering background? Why did you decide to partner with us versus doing it on your own or going with some other professionals in Zanzibar?
Well, I like the fact that if you're coming into the community, you're part of the community, and we work with each other, right? So instead of just being one person or one corporation doing one thing, there's multiple facets, right? Like multiple industries in one. So if you invest in let's say the pressure washing situation, you're really investing in all the ancillary services, all the real estate, and you get to be part of that and get, what's the word I'm looking for? But you get something back that is whoever invests gets a piece of all of that instead of just a piece of one thing. So that's what attracted me, and the vision, I think, is very large scale, and it will happen. It's happening, or it's going down. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to be involved with, and we're really putting our 100% into making it happen out here. So that's what it is, and it's more than just like I say, that's the main factor. It's more than, like, as an example, if I would have come out here on my own and said, okay, I'm just going to start washing cars. Okay, cool. But then what about, the rentals? What about the real estate? What about the cleaning services and all the other things? What about the tourism industry? But now if you invest in this, you're going to invest into all of that. You're going to be in that community, which is a game changer. It's a whole different ball game.
Exactly. The word you're looking for is two words: cooperative economics in our own community. And we have a complete system, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing this, ladies and gentlemen, since 2002. So thank you, Salamantu. And ladies and gentlemen, I see a couple of you asking, how do you engage in this particular part of the business? We're going to explain the whole opportunity for you in about 15 minutes. I'm excited that you're excited, and that's why we came here, to give you an exclusive. So hold tight. And my father always told me, let's not pull the cart before the horse, but we're excited you want to get in the cart. All right. So with that said, Tajir, let's pull this down. Let's go back up, and then we're going to introduce Financially Free D, because she's going to show you another part of the actual ancillary businesses, all under cleaning, commercial, residential services that you all have partaked in and participated as consumers anytime you go and travel anywhere as amazing tourists, which we do a lot. Last year, $115 billion worth. And you know what? The Dream Exchange and my mentor, Gus Tucker, said 1865, when the Proclamation Emancipation, we only owned 2% of the economy. And now in 2024, we still only own 2% of the economy. Something's wrong with that picture, but guess what, Tawana? We're changing that immediately here on the 10K project. So with that said, we want to show you what we believe is going to be the most profitable piece in these ancillary services tonight. And we're going to turn this over to our expert and let her tell you about herself and why she knows this is a bona fide winner. Ladies and gentlemen, Financially Free D and Personal Chef Services.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dee. Go by Financially Free D on the internet, but my name is Darren A. or D. So nice to have you guys here. So as DJ mentioned, I am also broadcasting live from Zanzibar. So it is about almost 4 o'clock in the morning here. So normally I'm full of energy, but I'm going to try to pick it up for you guys. So I hope you're with us. So tonight for me, we're going to go over two very, very, very key services that are here that kind of expand into everything that DJ mentioned is the Trojan horse, and actually is the backbone behind tourism. So that is cleaning services, and that is personal chef services, along with tourism, along with excursions, and all of these things tie into each other. So I want to speak to you guys about those things. So I've been here in Zanzibar for about a month. I have relocated. I actually live here. I moved here kind of semi-permanently. And one of the major things that I noticed that DJ mentioned earlier when I got here is, man, the reason why I moved here was to have a better quality of life. And majority of the people who come here, whether they're staying temporarily or they are expats, they come here for a better quality of life. They want to come here and they want to completely relax. So it's all about relaxation. I don't want to think about how am I going to buy food, because obviously they don't have traditional grocery stores here. I can share a Tajir if you need me to. Yeah, they don't have traditional grocery stores here. So what they have are markets. So shopping is not like we know it. Another thing is, I don't want to cook. I don't want to slave over a stove all day. I want to be outside at the beach. I want to have a good time. Another thing is, I don't want to worry about cleaning. I don't want to do any of those things. I want to come here and live a better quality of life. So I discovered that very, very quickly in being here. So we decided let's turn this into a service, because I know if most of the people here are like me, whether they're coming here on vacation or they're coming or they live here, they usually are middle class income and higher. So they are looking for the exact same things. And as we started to kind of canvass the different people who were here, they were all interested in the same services. So what I'm going to present to you guys today is the Pom Pom lifestyle in Zanzibar. So experience luxury with customized concierge services. So very quickly, as you guys can see, this is us at the grand opening, our pre-grand opening of the resort that DJ was speaking of earlier. So here, I want you all to see that we're going to give personalized services like a private chef. So currently, I have a private chef. There are some other individuals here using the same services who have a private chef. Also, this is going to allow you to kind of make your trip stress-free, whether you're here for just 10 days or you're here for 10 months or you're here forever. Also, it allows you to be able to immerse yourself in the culture, be able to eat the actual Swahili food, and kind of really feel more closely tied to being in Africa. Okay, so as you guys see, this is a picture of breakfast that was cooked. So this food was purchased by my private chef, fresh from the market. So none of the food is more than a week old. So the food is fresh. The fruits are fresh. So how many people in the US are eating fruit right now that don't have seeds? So that's one of the biggest things. Everything is here that is fresh. There's no GMOs. There's no preservatives. Everything is fresh here. So every Sunday, my chef goes to the market and buys food and prepares. So here, this is a spinach omelet, fresh fruit, and breadfruit. If you are from the Caribbean or ever been to the Caribbean, you're probably familiar with breadfruit. So that's an example of a breakfast. Here is an example of a dinner that we all shared that the chef cooked while DJ and Tajir were here in Zanzibar. So I'm going to play the video, but I'm going to make sure I turn on the sound. Can you guys hear this?
No, we're not hearing it.
You're not hearing it?
No.
Huh.
And if you're having trouble too, then that means it must be something in the Zoom setting. We checked the
Okay.
setting, but it doesn't seem to be working. We apologize for that. But that food
It's
looks
okay.
amazing. It looks, all I need to do is see it. I can taste it already. I don't need to
Yes,
hear it.
yes. It is absolutely amazing. So here, I just want to show you guys all of this literally cooked daily. So this is not prepared. If you would like, you could have it prepared days ahead of time. But how I like it, if I'm here and I'm here for a better quality of life, that includes wellness. So I want fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh foods. So she literally comes like about 9:30 in the morning and prepares breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So this was a dinner that we had. So next slide. Let me go out of this. Go to the next slide here. All right. Here, this is us actually at the market. So we went to the market, I don't remember, sometime last week, which was in town. And this is an example right here, just to give you guys very quickly how much you think these bananas would cost. Because I just had a conversation with someone earlier talking about $5 fruit in the US right now. So to give you an example, like a whole batch of these bananas like this, like these large bananas that you guys see, is probably about 75 cents. So we have fresh bananas, fresh mangoes, fresh oranges here at the market. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick little sped up version of the final dinner that we had, also prepared by the chef. when DJ and Tajir were leaving here in Zanzibar, and we had a whole entire seafood. So to narrate, guys, since you can't hear the sound, this is Esther. She is the private chef. And what she's gonna show us here in this aluminum foil is fresh lobster. This is fresh lobster here.
Fresh as in
This
they
is
went out and like
homemade
caught it that
chapate.
morning?
Chapate, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. It's like a thicker tortilla type of breading.
Yes, Tawana,
These are
that
prawns.
lobster was caught that day, fresh
Wow,
Yeah, the
out of the
lobster was
ocean.
caught that
Everything is
day.
that day.
beautiful.
This is octopus, also caught that day. We have fresh salad. We have fresh fruit. And we have fresh juice. And we have fries. So that's just an example. I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a look into what daily services look like for me in living here in Zanzibar. So that would be the personal chef services. Next is the cleaning services. So again, when people are here, they're here for a better quality of life. So we have our cleaning services, which is turning over one unit for the next person to come in. So that's exactly what you're kind of seeing here. So all the sheets, all the things removed, as Tajir mentioned earlier. Laundry takes like 3-4 days if you take it to a professional service here. But we have our people set to go. So this is all the bedding removed, all of the things removed. I can play the video briefly, but that's essentially what you're going to be seeing is the before of the cleaning, before the cleaning.
And so just like, staying at the Ritz-Carlton, the W, the Four Seasons, all of these services, ladies and gentlemen, we have already incorporated into a system. And I want to reiterate to you, this is not our first rodeo. I ran a very successful high-end commercial and residential cleaning business in the downtown area of Chicago for over 12 years. So we are already hiring staff, implementing a proven system that'll be running scale within 30 days. So tonight, you're having an opportunity to pick one of these services that you can invest and have equity and ownership in if you are ready for the only opportunity of its kind, a true Black unicorn.
Right, guys? So that's that. That was just them starting to clean. So I got some before and after video. So I actually have someone clean once a week. Some people have their units cleaned multiple times a week, once a week, every other week. There's a huge, huge, huge need that is not even been tapped here. I'm telling you. I mean, everywhere you go, all you have to do is ask one, is this something that you would want? And everyone will tell you yes. So it's huge, a huge, huge, huge opportunity. So I'm gonna stop here and just kind of share with you all the overall vision for concierge service. So the overall vision for concierge service is when you come to Zanzibar, whether you're coming here to live or whether you're coming here just for vacation, you literally do not have to worry about anything. So for me, I'm a world traveler. I've traveled all around the world in some of the best places ever. So some other things that I've done is put our trips to Zanzibar together. So I know the industry. And from the moment that you say, I want to come to Zanzibar, we can literally do everything for you. This is a one-stop shop. If you need help with your visa, if you need help with somewhere to stay, obviously, we have that available to you. But once you get here, most importantly, transportation transportation services. There's not a normal transportation system here. So you're going to need transportation to navigate the island. You're not going to want to come here. Literally, I'm looking out my window. I see the ocean, literally. You're going to want to be outside in the ocean. You're going to want to be outside exploring and having a great time. So all you're going to want to know is how much? How much is it for me to come here and not have to think about anything? I'm here, it's my business, and I'm still, how can I not have to worry about anything as least as possible? So transportation, excursions, cleaning services, food, chef services, all of these things wrapped up in a bundle tight, given to you to enjoy and be able to have the lapse of luxury if that's what you want, or just a better quality of life here in Zanzibar with us. So that is it for me with concierge services, unless anyone has any questions. But essentially, that is what it is, wrapped up in a bow.
Awesome, awesome. So guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to get behind the numbers, and then we're going to have a quick Q&A, and we're going to give you the offering, and then we're going to let you be on your way. And what we want to share with you is that how we actually are incorporating the 5 core principles of the 7 spheres of money system. Number 1 is that we practice cooperative economics. That's what we're doing right now. We're practicing cooperative economics. Number 2, we are leveraging our professional networks of experienced experts in industries that have made 6 and 7 figures. That's what you're seeing here on our team. There's a term in the money business. It says money follows management. So what I'm showing you tonight for the second time is our management team that gets us in front of the high-end investors to actually move the needle to make these dreams a reality. The third one is we incorporate or we create our own ecosystem. Fortunately for you, you have an ecosystem called the 10K Project that brings amazing investment opportunities. Fortunately for you as well, we have an ecosystem called the 7 Spheres of Money, which I began in December of 2002. Now, when you put cooperative economics together, leverage your professional networks, incorporate a proven ecosystem, then 4 and 5 is equity and ownership 100%. And that's what we're about to unveil to you exclusively tonight in these ancillary services that we have shared with no one, including our initial investors. This is a first ever for your eyes only. So I'm going to now turn this over to our president of Zanzibar, Tajir Green, who has a Wall Street background. Tajir Green, at the young age of 21, actually 20, started his professional career on Wall Street in the private equity sector, dealing specifically with commercial real estate, and he became a senior analyst that only handled projects $75 million to $150 million. So I stole him away from Wall Street and made him the president of our Zanzibar Corporation. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have a corporation in Zanzibar, which separates us from everybody. And Tajir is going to explain that real briefly in 10 minutes, and we're going to show you how to get involved with us. Tajir, take it away.
I got you. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, DJ. So if you guys are listening closely, then you're starting to get the theme here, right? You're starting to see that the resorts, the real estate was only the entry door into the whole entire business. So like DJ mentioned, my background is in private equity and commercial real estate. So the idea and the goal is always to create an economy that you have control over and you get a piece of the pie of everything that's happening, right? You want to build a residential apartment building. Okay, I'm gonna have the laundry services in there. I'm gonna have the parking. I'm gonna have the gym. I'm gonna have everything. I'm gonna have the restaurants and everything. So these people don't actually have to leave this building. And we as the owners are able to make money from the whole entire process. So that's the theme that we're on. And like Darren was explaining, when you come to a place like Zanzibar, you want to come and have a complete luxury concierge experience, especially when you're traveling. And then the cool thing about it, which is why these numbers are possible, is the community of people that are coming to not just stay in Zanzibar for 1 or 2 weeks, but are coming to live and stay for 3 and 6 and 7 months. Because if you're coming from anywhere across the world, you know that you can't go and get a personal chef, a cleaner, get your car taken care of, get your laundry taken care of, and have this your transportation and have this kind of bespoke experience without paying a pretty penny for it, right? But we're in Zanzibar where everything is cheaper. So you now get to come and live your best life that you never got to live in your home country here in Zanzibar. And we're here to give you that entire process because there is the peace aspect of coming and refreshing and relaxing and being in nature, being in a beautiful environment and getting a mental and physical reset. But to an extent, you still want the conveniences like you have back home. And if possible, you want even more because you're like, my money travels more here. So let me take it all the way so I can have the lifestyle I never had. And that brings us to our numbers. So when we put together all 4 of our ancillary service businesses, the cleaning, the laundry, the mobile car wash, the personal chef services, year one, 2025, we're looking to do conservatively 1.4 million in revenue, which breaks down ultimately to a little bit over $1 million in net income for the year, right? Now we scale, we look, have the numbers develop over the years, and by 2028, we're pulling in 1.6 million in net income. And this is simply because these are sticky markets. And when you have the access that we have to the people, to the professionals that have the money, the time, and want to be able to relax and get this stuff done, and you serve them at the highest level, like we do, and like DJ did when he started his cleaning company back in Chicago, and scaled it to 7 figures and had the largest cleaning company in the world knocking on his door asking, how did he do it? Right? When you're able to accomplish that, you're able to captivate the market and the people aren't going to leave. Why? Because this person is already doing all of my services. They do everything great. What am I leaving for? Because my quality of life is now advanced. Since Darren has been in Zanzibar, from the day that she got there until today, having access to these services, her quality of life is completely advanced. We were jokingly saying, I'm like, hey, you're a new person today. You know, when you first came, you was a little bit sinister, a little bit on the evil side, and now you're sweet. You're like an angel. Look how much the things that you had access to gave you some peace and quality of life. And that's really what we're bringing to people and bringing it to them in paradise. So really, when you think about it, it's a no-brainer.
Man, I couldn't have said that better. So let's switch over to the last 2 slides here, and then we'll engage in the Q&A. And what we want to be able to show you, ladies and gentlemen, how this ecosystem actually incorporates one of our partners who was just on the platform 2 weeks ago, and the technology that we have that nobody has. And I need you to understand this. So again, I'm going to encourage you, if you never see me again, you need to watch the movie Blackberry. You need to watch Strictly Business, and you need to watch the story about Uber, because we are them in this segment of the marketplace. If you had a chance to invest in Bevel, the Black-owned skincare business created by the gentleman who actually graduated from Stanford, who recently sold for billions of dollars to one of the major players, this is that opportunity. Now, I can't guarantee you that we're going to hit every number we show you, but I can guarantee you we're going to finish the project, and I can guarantee you we are ahead of the curve of everybody. The NBA, everybody. They're knocking on our door. So what you're seeing here right now is a video of the technology that we're going to incorporate in Zanzibar for the smart homes. And I know we had a founder that came for a second time last Tuesday, and he talked about AI smart houses, but we actually have one step above that. We actually create the technology. It's called Grab TV, and it showcased and launched on the Bible Network, which is the largest Christian network in the world with millions of subscribers. We also have an agreement in the works with Microsoft because Microsoft created the app for the NFL. If you guys remember when we first came on the first time, I showed you us working in partnership with Microsoft at the Raiders' brand new technological advanced stadium, which all the technology was created by Microsoft. So we're bringing that technology to Zanzibar. And then we're going to wrap it up with a bow. We're going to add on to the platform the Top Ladder Company by Mr. Larry Mickens, who is a founder and a member of the 10K Project, who actually has become one of our partners as well. And he's going to tell you why he's so excited. And then after that, ladies and gentlemen, within the next 24 months, we will be one of the first public traded companies on the Dream Exchange, because my mentor, Gustav Tucker, who I've been knowing since 1995, is one of the head partners for the Dream Exchange. And just to give you proof in the pudding that I'm not just saying it, I have the video to prove it. I literally interviewed Gus 3 years ago on my series called the Financial Expert Series with DJ the Money Coach. Roll tape. This is Gustav Tucker right here. And if you want to know his background, he's in the C-suite, was a director at Tropicana, was a CMO at R.R. Dudley, Boise Cascade, to say a few, and also has an executive MBA from the University of Chicago. And I've been mentored by him for almost 30 years. And I actually started a little small company called the 6 Degrees of Assets back in 2001, and actually brought Gus into the business to run a portion of it and teach him the real estate business. It's a small world. Would you say that, Tawana? It's a small world.
It is a small world.
Yep.
Indeed.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask Larry to hop on and explain real briefly what he's excited about, why he wants to be incorporated with us, and why he's joined us, and why we're not only taking him to Africa, but we also put him in the driver's seat to get his ladder business on the Dream Exchange as well. Can we have Larry opportunity to hop on real quick? And then we're going to take Q&A from everybody. And Tajir, if you can go to the next slide, I'm just going to show you how this actually incorporates the whole ecosystem. This is what it's about.
Before you get to that, let me open up Larry's mic.
Sure thing.
So I will say, I am an over-the-top ladder fan. You hear me? So I am smiling from ear. Actually, let me turn my camera back on so you can see how I'm smiling. From ear to ear, because it has been my prayer for probably the last 2 years since I met Mr. Mickens that somebody would get him what he needed to get him to be on the shelves, right? Making this ladder known to the world, because I think it's amazing. So big ups to your team and to Larry for bringing them under your wing and partnering. This makes my spirit happy.
Well, I'm excited. I was hoping you're going to be excited. So we wanted to share a big surprise for the last.
I love it.
You can
Okay,
open up Larry's
mic
and let Larry tell us why he's excited. And Larry reached out to us, and it's funny how God works. We were basically just, like you do, you vetted us. We're vetting and say, hey, you know what? Is there a couple of people we could talk to that give us a, feedback of what their experience been on 10K? And Larry was one of them. And from there, Larry engaged with Tajir. Then Larry said, hey, you know what? I like what you guys doing. Will you have an opportunity, in a couple of months? I said, Larry, when you're ready, let me know. And when we did the presentation, Larry in the chat, like most of these people are doing, he said, hey, DJ, can I still get that offer from back? I said, hey, I keep my word, Larry. And then from there, the Dream Exchange came on. Larry's trying to get connected with them. I said, Larry, forget about you getting connected with them. I'll put you on the phone right now with Gustav Tucker and get you an appointment with them. And that's what we did.
I love it. It's so fun because Larry's on my damn list too. So DJ, you taking on my list. You taking.
If you don't know, now you know.
I love it. I love it. Everything
so
about
Larry,
it. I love
Larry,
it.
how you doing, Larry?
Hey, brother.
You can turn your video on. Talk to us real quickly so we can answer questions and let these beautiful people get on with their night.
Hey. Let me Let me get this visual going.
And you may only be able to talk, Larry.
Yeah,
that's
I
fine.
think, yeah.
Go ahead, go
Well,
right
you don't
ahead,
need to see
Larry.
you don't need to see my face. You can hear my voice. I'm all good. Yeah. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's no more need to be said. This gentleman here, I liken DJ to our new Reginald Lewis, if everybody knows who Reginald Lewis is. I know he's DJ the money coach, but you talking about an image and a person who I feel that he is emulating, and like saying he got his stream of connections, like he just said, um, is, I tell you, is boundless. But this here, what has been presented to us today is, I'm telling you, I don't know what the words I can use that can go above what you're already seeing through the presentation by these new young executives that he's brought on board, by all of the auxiliary services that he's going to be presenting to. He didn't say just Zanzibar. This is going to be Africa. You know, I don't think the impact, you don't feel, like I said, and just like I said, you know, when we started our conversation, it was like I said, a no-brainer. It was just so amazing and fascinating to see um, someone doing something on this level, this scope, and then you know, our conversation and how it flowed, and then being able to work with someone who has this type of vision is and Tawana, I got to give you your cred, street cred, corporate cred, whatever you want to go with it, that by you bringing this community to levels that we've never seen, people that would have never met each other, you know, these founders that, you know, and like DJ was saying, like I said, dream exchange. I'm telling you, um, that's that's an amazing game changer there. And like I say, when DJ, I talked to DJ the other day, and we was talking about tonight's presentation and things like that, and I was telling him what Jeff had did, and then he's, look, man, hold on one second. I can get Gus on the phone. I said, I'm gonna get you on the phone with the guy he was talking about right now. I said, what? You know, I said, you know him. You know, I'm saying myself. I'm saying, like, you know it. I said, man, look how small this world is when you start communicating,
Right.
when you start interacting,
Yeah.
when you have a platform for these type of people to meet. And then you look in the mirror and you say, man, look at the melanin like mine that has clout, has, and like I said, and these dream exchange, get ready to get a seat at a table that is, like I said, this brother is amazing, and the connection that is being had throughout this whole platform is amazing. It's astounding to me, and I'm just so thankful and so blessed to know each and every one of the people that I have met through this whole process, this platform, and like, you know, and what DJ is doing. I really hope everybody is reading and being able to see above what these words are being said on the magnitude of what's happening here. Africa, like I say, we built this country and we see what this country is going through right now, what everything is happening, stuff like that. We don't have to have this kind of harassment and this thing about, you know, why can't we be included? Africa is open. Zanzibar is open, and what he's building there, and what, you know, with these young executives that he's bringing and putting on, and what these young people are bringing to the table. I'm telling you, these things are going to grow. And you talk about generational wealth, and you talking about all these other things that's going to come from this. It's everything that we've been wanting, everything we've been praying for, our ancestors been praying for. It's saying that, when are we going to all be marching in the same direction? Here we are. And I'm telling you, like I said, you know, I'll take a little thing for you, DJ. We say, my grandfather didn't say too, you know, you can hear all our people always say, you can lead somebody to water, but you can't make them drink. But I'm telling you, this is a time you need to come to this fountain. you need to come to this spring water. It's rolling fresh where it hadn't been processed. And this thing here is deeper than deep. And Tawana, you're going to be in for a treat when you meet this gentleman, Gus. And then, like I say, just to hear, you know, his energy and how inspiring. This is a call to action that none of us can afford to not take advantage of and not do something about. This is real. And I can't say it no more. And like I said, these people have said everything. And they're just talking about the tip of the iceberg. They have a lot of stuff in store for us. And I'm telling you, I'm knee deep right now, but I'm going to get chest deep. And I want to do some aqua boogie affair. I want to go underwater, and I want to see how this thing, like I say, because this thing is going to be around. I can see, man, I'm rejoicing at the fact of what my children are going to experience, my grandkids are going to experience, you know, and from this here, or what's happening here, and to say that we are a part of this, I'm telling you, this is something that we can't afford. We cannot afford. None of us. I don't care what you have. This is right now. You need to go and get the rally cry out to all your family, all your friends, and you guys need to pool your money together and jump in this water. Because this thing is bigger than what we actually going to. I'm telling you, these are the things our ancestors realized for us at this state and time. Like DJ was saying, back in slavery, we like said 2% of what our ownership is here now, and that hadn't changed in 400 or 500 years. This is the change. This is the game changer here collectively. What I'm going to be doing and what he's doing and what these other founders are going to be doing, like I said, they're going to be all put in this mix because all these things are going to be needed where these brothers and sisters are at in Zanzibar and Africa in itself. It is going to be the #1 economy coming forward, and they don't want you to know that. And our people are going to lead. We're going to lead. We're going to take our rightful seat where we're supposed to be, and we're going to do it through investing. Reparations is our investing in one another who has something to invest in.
That part. Yes, Larry. Yeah. Y'all see why I love me some Larry Mickens?
Man,
So-
I tell you, Larry is amazing.
Yes,
Larry's
So,
amazing. So,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen,
it's a pleasure and an honor to sit at the table with all of you, and to be able to be somebody that's going to be a part of pushing this down the road. And thank you to, like I say, Tawana, just for you to be able to put us together like you had. This is no small feat that you have done here to bring these minds, these bodies, and these spirits in this space. We've been looking for something like this.
We are all exactly where we're supposed to be.
We are, and like I said, we all are a part of that vessel. And I just want to say again, you know, they said everything. They got it all lined up. Everything is set up for us to go. Now it's time. It's like I said, it's a call to action. And get what you can, you know, leave them Gucci bags and them Louis Vuitton bags on the shelf a little longer. You ain't saying you got to go you can't get them. Wait until you get something to get them with so you can enjoy them properly, if that's what you want. But I'm saying that they're going to be some other people that look like us. They're going to can make those same products, and we want you to go get them because we can do this. It's being done, and it's happening right before our eyes. We just need to take advantage of it. And this is what God. This whatever your higher being, your higher power is, and stuff like that. I always said it's a spirit. This spirit, this energy that we see and feel right now, this is what we need. This is what we've been promised. And this is what we need to move forward on. And we need to put the money behind it. And that's all I have to say.
well, man, I couldn't have said it better. So we're going to move to the last slide, but we're going to show you this real quickly. I want to take Q&A real quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about the numbers at the end of the day. You know, of course, community is important. The melanin in our skin is important, but you're here as an investor and it's about the numbers. So at the end of the day, you are contributing to a $1.3 trillion economy as a consumer, and we own less than 2% of that. So I want to challenge you to do your research, be prepared, and dig in. If you can't dig in with us, dig in with somebody else, but dig in, because this is an opportunity in Africa specifically that is the last frontier on this planet other than people trying to go to Mars. And you don't have to take my word for it, because I am a student of business. So I'm going to encourage you to pick up this business book, which I talked about the first time, Africa Rising. It was a business book produced by a PhD in economics from the University of Texas at Austin, came out in 2011. And this was the book that made me jump off the cliff and go all in on Africa, because I was prepared for the opportunity. See, so the call to action is real simple. It's a $1.3 billion opportunity that's going to produce $430 million a year in residual business in the 5 ancillary services, with or without you. But you know what? We're going to have a lion's share of it because we're there first, and we're going to stay the course. The only question is, are you prepared to hop on board with us? And like the first time we came, we couldn't offer you the ancillary services, but we heard you, so we're offering them to you tonight. So Tajir, click on the last page, and as you can connect the dots, we're hitting a home run. So we're going to give you 3 ways to engage with us exclusively. We're going to raise $1 million in 30 days. And only thing we're asking you as the 10K community is come forth with 250,000 of it. If you come forth with 0, we're still going to raise $1 million, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. You know why? Because we already raised over 3 million in less than 2 years. But since we want to incorporate us on the B2B side versus the B2C side, we're bringing it to you first. And I couldn't have said it better than what Larry said, because when you look at the numbers and you study businesses, Africa is exploding, and over in Africa, it's exclusively Europeans, and nothing wrong with that, but they're taking first seat at the table and they're pushing us out. But guess what? They got fooled by me. They thought I was one of them, and I went over with my German French surname and I captured the tiger by the tail, and I proved to them that I'm a player. And now I'm bringing it back to you, and I'm saying, hey, like Caleb and like Joshua, let's go take the hill. But don't be like the Israelites who didn't believe them, and God diminished all of them, and the only people that went into the promised land were 40 people, including Joshua and Caleb. That's my PSA, but here's the facts. So option number 1, we're going to give you an option to invest a quarter of 1% equity in the cleaning opportunity. That means you get to own equity in the whole business. Now, I want you to understand something. I ran a 7-figure annual cleaning business for almost 12 years. This is going to make a boatload of money. Go check out JanPro. It's the largest commercial cleaning company in the world. They paid me to train their franchisees, because side by side in Chicago for 10 years, I literally kick their aces. Do your research, okay? Number 2, we're going to give you an opportunity to invest in the laundry business. So that represents the 10K project, but what I can't do like I did the last time, Tawana, is I can't water down the opportunity just to get people on the bus. And like Larry said, if you don't have the money, partner together. This is the thing we don't do enough of in our community. Option number 3, the mobile car wash business is going to be huge. And the big one is the personal chef. And as you see there, the personal chef is at our regular investment price that we do with everybody, because it is the one that's going to do 10, 20, 30x, because the profit margins are significant. And I'm offering you opportunity to have equity in the business. That means you'll get an annual quarterly payout for the rest of your life because I'm not selling. And we're going to be one of the first official companies on the Dream Exchange. If you don't believe me, you can sit back and watch. But if you have belief, jump on board. So let's open up the Q&A. These are the options. And this is closing on August 26th. Here's what I don't want to see people do. Don't call us if you're not serious. And to answer the first question that I saw in the Q&A, your protections are this. And let me make sure I get your name pronounced correctly. I think it's Rain.
It is.
Like Reign and King and Power. The organization, Tajir, why don't you jump in here? Because Tajir is the president. Tajir, why don't you answer that question for Reign? And let's make sure that everybody's paying attention, because here's what usually happens in our community. We normally try to find a way not to invest with us instead of finding a way to get down with us. Because if I look like the European and I served you 1/3 of what I'm showing you, I would already have $1 million invested in these enterprises.
Yes,
I hate to say that.
That's definitely not the case here, though, right? Because we all show up because we are intentionally investing in people that look like us. So
absolutely,
that is not a thing here at the 10K Project. But let me read the question so that anyone watching the replay can see what Rain's question was. So Rain asks, what kind of protections are in place by the Zanzibar government for foreign investors?
Tajir, answer that question for us. He's the president. He resides in Zanzibar for at least 6 months out of every year. Talk to him, Tajir.
Got you. Hey, Rain. So Zanzibar actually has an entire organization dedicated to just that. ZIPA, i.e. the Zanzibar Investment Promotion Agency, that streamlines all investment and puts together all of the laws, all of the protections, and everything you need to know about investing in Zanzibar in one agency. And the point of that is because it is a completely different market than what most people are used to from their respective countries. So it's there to streamline all processes, all laws, all everything, so that you can know, okay, if I want to buy this kind of business or I want to start this kind of business, these are my steps to go through. And these are the people that can assist me through every step of the way. And these are the people that are going to explain to me what all of my rights are. And they're going to be able to enforce my rights in the event that things happen. So that's where the protection comes for foreign investors.
Now, here's the caveat, Tawana and Rain. What separates us from individuals who get protection by ZIPA, which is the Zanzibar Investment Protectors Promotions Agency, is here's what they won't tell you. As an individual, they are now enforcing the laws to protect the indigenous. What does that mean? Let's say you had an acre of land to be sold to you by an indigenous family in Zanzibar. And let's say they sold it to you for $1,000. Tawana, you give them $1,000, they give you the land, but now they still own 70% and you only own 30%. They still control the narrative. Here's the caveat that we don't have to play that game. Tell them why, Tajir.
We don't have to play that game because we set up our corporation specifically through our prudency and connections with our attorneys and the folks at ZIPA to be able to do any projects of any size, right? So anytime we purchase land, we don't have to have a local person own 70% of our land. And we can actually do these deals and deals of any size without going through the rigorous new requirements that they set, because they weren't expecting the explosion of investment that Zanzibar got. So they realized that, hey, we don't start putting in these pieces, then the local indigenous population, they're not going to be able to survive here. But we came in before that and made the right relationships. So we're not affected by it.
But tell them why we were really able to get that financially. This is where the rubber meets the road.
Oh, yeah.
Why were we able to get the corporation? Because they have quotas in order for you to have a corporation in Zanzibar. Tell them what's the difference between us and them as well.
Oh, yeah, because our levels of significant investment, investing millions of dollars in Zanzibar, that means something. So you're not, just treated like a basic person walking down the street. They have to roll out the red carpet for you because you've invested millions of dollars in their country and to develop their economy. So when they saw that and they saw that we're serious, we're the real deal, and we're here, they said, hey, it only makes sense for us to do what we need to do to make sure they have what they need so they can continue to invest and they can benefit the economy and the people that live here.
Exactly. And
That
one
is
of the main reasons, Tawana, why Shalamantu joined us, because as an individual, Shalamantu was having challenges trying to get residency, driver's license, and all of that. And just like that, we would help facilitate that for him when I was there. All of us that you see here, we have our driver's license, we own cars in our business. I own, ladies and gentlemen, millions of dollars of hard assets in Zanzibar. I am the largest owner of real estate and business with people who look like us in Zanzibar. Matter of fact, outside of a Fortune 500 company, I am the largest in America. And I say that unapologetically.
So one of
And
the
that's
questions,
facts.
so that's what's
Yes.
up. That's what's up, DJ. One of the questions I had kind of lends to what you just talked about, the ownership of assets, but I want to talk a little bit about what does dual citizenship look like as the community is thinking about, investing in the ancillary business. First of all, thank you so much for bringing this exclusive opportunity to the 10K project. But as they think about investing in the ancillary business, and then also, as you develop, right, the resort out even more and continue to buy land and continue to build, as people think about making Zanzibar their home, what does that look like for us as potential citizens?
Well, you know what? I'm going to turn that over to Darrenay and let her answer that question because she's actually about to realize that herself. Talk to him for us, please.
Okay, so first and foremost, before you can become a citizen, you have to become a resident. So, and there is a path to residency as well. So they are putting a lot of protections in place because, like Tajir stated, there was an explosion that honestly Zanzibar was not prepared for. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. They were not prepared for all of the business and all of the people who came here. They were completely thrown off, like so much so that the airport is now controlled by a completely different authority because they could not handle the amount of people that were coming to Zanzibar. So everything has changed in like the last year or two. So first and foremost, you have to become a resident. Once you have a residency, that is only able to be done through a couple of different ways. As DJ said, I'm kind of overseeing the process right now. You either can get it through your retirement or you can get it as an individual owner at a certain investment number, but they have made that even more difficult. Hence, as DJ said, Shalamantu had some challenges and a lot of other people are. So the main way to gain residency here is through business. So either you work for a corporation that is actually resides in Zanzibar or incorporated in Zanzibar, or you create a corporation yourself here in Zanzibar and gain residency that way. So that's the first step. You can't even think about citizenship until you get residency. Okay. And then once you have residency, then they have some other things in place that allow you to get citizenship. But as you know, with the United States, you more than likely are going to have to renounce your citizenship with the United States.
Yeah,
so there's no dual citizenship.
No,
right?
not in Zanzibar.
Currently.
Not in Zanzibar. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate what Zanzibar is doing because unlike some of the other African countries, they're not protecting their indigenous people from being extinct. So it may sound like they're making it harder for us to do business, but actually when you follow the rules and become a corporation, the pathway is even easier and we have a huge playing field. So it's an opportunity that's created for us being there first, building relationships, investing the hard currency that we're serious. And now we can give you a pathway, an assembly line. So that's really what we're doing, Tawana, is that I want to emphasize the ecosystem, the foundation. So here's our plan. The first 5 years, ladies and gentlemen, we're building the foundation, putting the infrastructure, doing the civil structure engineering. And then the next 5 years is implementation of getting the assembly line and the businesses to actually start running the whole ecosystem economy. And if you look at any business worth its salt, it's not going to happen in less than 5 to 7 years, and it's not going to solidify itself in less than 7 to 10 years. And a lot of times we live in a microwavable society. We want it yesterday. We want 100% return yesterday. It doesn't really work that way. So we're doing the process where I tell people we started as outsiders, we become insiders, and then we become the establishment because we've already set a precedent that they're changing the laws just because of our corporation. And so we're going to be the precedent for the new people to come in with corporations at our size because of what we've already done. And our properties have been inspected several times, under inspection right now. So we are going to start the refinancing process, just like regular commercial real estate here in America. We're dictating to them how that goes about. So it might end up be called the Duransburg rule.
Very, very good. So let's do this because I've got some questions. We've got some more in the Q&A. Let's stop sharing so that we can be bigger on the screen.
Sure.
And I want us to talk about as I see these circles before you take them down, as I see them representing each deal on the screen, I want to talk more about what that really means to the local economy, right? So obviously we know that these represent jobs, right? Obviously somebody has to do the cleaning for the cleaning business. Someone has to be the personal chef, right? Because we can't take D's chef, right? We got to get our own. And so somebody else has to run the laundry service and the mobile car wash. So we know that this means jobs. So you can go ahead and take the slides down. What does that mean from an annual standpoint for each of these roles? What's the wage that these businesses are going to pay and infuse back into local economy?
Man, boy, that's a great question. So again, I'm going to turn that over to Tajir because that's what he does for us exclusively. And what I will tell you is right now, we're currently employing and contracting somewhere between 50 and 60 people.
Nice.
That is Zanzibarians. Yeah, because again, we've built a 220 unit residential, luxury resort. We also are finishing 5 luxury townhouses that have daily 15 to 20 people working on them around the clock. We also now have vehicles that require drivers. So we're taking care of that part that you're talking about. So we're creating an economy for them and making them able to raise up to the middle class standards of America so they don't get displaced. And so that's one of the things that we're educating the locals about, is that they're kind of naive and thinking that they're going to be able to stay there. And we just like, it's not going to happen unless you start creating professional income that can afford you to stay in these places that we're building, because we're not building for you, we're building for the Europeans. I'm just being honest with you, because one of the questions we always get, Tawana, is why aren't the spaces much bigger like America? Because that's not who they're building for.
Right.
They're not building for you and me. They're building for the European who's into efficiency, into frugality, and tiny homes. That's what people have to understand. So the opulence that we're accustomed to seeing in America, we're going to bring some of that flavor in our palm to palm lifestyle resort, but we're going to give the market what the market wants so we can make money. So Tajir is going to explain the economics of what we pay people, what the economy builds, and then we'll go from there. Take it over, Tajir.
I got you. So a big preface to your question that I want to note is that when you generally hear these studies and these stories about, oh, these people in these countries are extremely poor, they don't have anything, there's a two-sided coin to that. Because if they're talking about from a purely economic perspective, weighing their currency, right, the local currency versus the US dollar or another matching currency. What you have to realize is most of these people come from villages where they own land that's inherited through their generations. They have land, they have food, they have cows, they have chickens. So they really don't use cash for much things other than things, but their daily lives are taken care of pretty much naturally, right? So when you hear, oh, these people don't make much more than $1 to $2 a day. And for us, that's like, whoa, this is, sharecropping slavery, but you don't realize they have everything they need for the most part. So they don't have a need to use constant currency. So most of the people that we are working with, that we employ, they're coming from mainland Tanzania and they're coming to Zanzibar to have a better life because the wages there are poor because they're usually from the big cities and it's very competitive. So when they come to Zanzibar, we pay them market rate salaries that are above market that they would normally be able to find. And we have them working with us very closely. We have them doing repeat work and repeat business. And part of it also is a skill up too, right? Because a lot of people have tenacity, they have drive, but they need the skill sets and they need the professionalism. And that's what we give them, and pay them above market wages to allow them to level up with the economy. So as the place becomes more metropolitan, more busy, and more expensive, they can keep up and have good paying jobs to be able to still live there and not have to get shipped back to somewhere in the mainland, living in what we would call a hood in one of the cities. So
Right.
we make sure that's a major thing. Everybody that we work with is paid way more than they would anywhere else, which aside from that and our character and the way we treat them, that's a big part of how we're able to sustain our employment and our groups of people who work for us.
Very good. Thank you for that. Very, very good. All right, let's get to some of these other questions. So Anonymous, and it may not be the same Anonymous, but we have some questions from Anonymous. I'll just read the first one. So how is the island road structure? Do you have to provide your own road structure? So did you have to, kind of pave the roads leading to the resort spaces and all of that stuff? Or what's the engineering like on the island?
That is a great question. It's twofold. Number one, the government does not allow you to actually build the roads leading up to your resorts. That's the unfortunate part. The upside to that is that transportation is just as expensive as it is here. So meaning that most people that come over there, Europeans, Americans, whomever, they have to have personal drivers, vans, cars, because until the government, like leading up to our resort, I always thought, I was like, why are these streets all jacked up? And then the developer said, hey, the government literally owns the road coming up to the gate of the resort, and they just refuse to pave it.
Wow.
That's the sad part. The upside of that is that as we start pushing more and more business, they started to make changes when we were here this time to roads, because they have literally taken in, Anonymous and Tawana and 10K Project, almost $5 billion in the last 2 years, and they have never taken in that kind of money ever in their life. So now they're being forced to change the narrative. And now what we are petitioning is that those roads, we own them and we can name them and we can start building better civil engineering for the infrastructure. So that's probably going to, play out in about 2 to 3 years, to be honest with you. But right now, that's a pain, and we're turning that pain into profit by owning the transportation business, because the roads are extremely bad, but we have the ability to own our own vehicles and we have the ability to navigate with professional drivers. And as the government relaxes their mind about paving those roads because they're getting so many people, we will be in better control. So remember I said, we started like an outsider, we come the insider, and we come the establishment, and we dictate the rules to them. So our development partner's been there for 15 years, and they're the reason why the Office of Zanzibar Investment Promotion Agency even exists, because they told them they needed to create it to get money to come to Zanzibar and get tax, benefits and get no, tariffs and stuff like that. So that's a great question. And here's a great thing. We have 2 people who spent their military backgrounds in Army of Corps Engineers, and they're actually part of our team, and they're actually been over to do our first project. And we also have a couple of other engineers, one named Jeff Calhoun, who's one of our core investors, that's actually coming over to help us with irrigation. So a lot of things you're going to find out about us before we jump off the cliff. We actually was on another cliff that we built, and we're bringing this cliff to Zanzibar. So we're not reinventing the wheel.
Very, very good. I love that. Next question. I'm not sure what Anonymous means by the first part of this question, so I'm going to read the second part. Anonymous, please clarify when you're referencing. Are you just trying to figure out the geographical location of Zanzibar? Is that what you're wanting to know in this first part of your question? But the second part is, what does the local police services look like and military forces?
Oh man, we love the police. Here's the one thing I always wanted to share with everybody, and all of us Blacks gonna get this. You're literally a person in Africa. Just like our counterparts here, just take it, they talk to the police however they want to. They don't have a concern in their mind about ever being harmed. You are literally in the driver's seat with the police departments in Zanzibar and Africa, and the crime is pretty much nil. But I can't explain this to you until you get there. If you ever been to Niagara Falls and somebody showed you a video versus you getting there, it just blows your mind. When you get to Africa and you see all the people look like you in the uniforms and everything, because Zanzibar is like Switzerland. They don't have any enemies. They're neutral across all politics for right now. So that means that they are friendly. They'll pull you over just to check and see if you got your registration. They'll chat it up with you and ask you to go out for a beer. That's the beauty of just being a person. So I never understood that, Tawana, until I got there this last time, and I was there for 6 weeks. And I'm like, man, this is cool. I have never had any thoughts in my mind about chatting up with no police, and never thought about, that little tinge you have in your back of your neck.
Right, right.
It does not exist, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a beautiful thing. And again, Zanzibar and Tanzania, even though the president of Tanzania runs the mainland, she's kind of like the, what they call it, the one that runs all the military. I forgot the name, that our commander-in-chief. So she's like the commander-in-chief for Zanzibar, and Zanzibar has their own president. And that president runs all the infrastructure and all the politics of Zanzibar. But on the landscape, Zanzibar and Tanzania, they came together as a republic in 1964. So from a police perspective and a military, there's nothing for you to be concerned about in that regard. And it's pretty much easy peasy on the island. And I'm speaking to you wholeheartedly as a Black man.
Very, very good. So I'm going to be in Zanzibar and Tanzania in February. I'm super, super excited. Can you talk more about the relationship between the two? So I know you just talked about kind of the governing body over it, but are you planning to build in Tanzania one day, or are you strictly looking at Zanzibar and continuing the journey there?
Well, here's the thing I learned from building successful real estate in the United States is start local and then build out. So I'm going to dominate a 3 to 5 mile radius in Zanzibar, and then I'm going to spread out so that we can dominate a system. So we're creating the 7 spheres of money system literally in Zanzibar. And once we get it mastered like we have here, then we're going to roll out our franchises and our duplicatable systems all across the Eastern Seaboard, because it's such a great opportunity. But if we were to try to do that now, we basically would fail because we don't have it all mastered in one local situation, if that makes sense. A lot of times people spread fast too soon. And what we're going to do is walk down and get every opportunity, understand how it works, understand the politics, understand how to duplicate ourselves. And then that way, when we go into Dar es Salaam and we go into other cities in the mainland, we'll just have a duplicatable system, just like Chick-fil-A, just like, a realty company. But a lot of people have offered us opportunities to buy land, even in the northern part of Zanzibar Peninsula. And I've declined because I said, again, I need to stay here and figure some things out where I am. And when I got it mastered and the people now really know who I am, from the government to the locals, and now I have favor and they're bringing deals to me internally, I'm not going anywhere. But in 10 years, absolutely. But I will say this, we won't turn down a deal that's too good to be true, meaning let's say somebody was desperate, like sometimes they have to sell land just to feed themselves. We will buy real estate and hold it and still master the local system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Very good. That's what you call strategy, sir, as you know. You are the master strategist, in my opinion.
Thank you very much.
Good. Let's see what other questions we have. Ms. Patrice says, how will the climate change and sea level rise impact your development, and how are you compensating?
Well, you know what? That's a great question. And I'll be honest with you, Patrice, I have not had time to even ponder that because nobody knows everything. But what I can tell you is that we're on a coral reef and it's pretty high in elevation. And other than these 2 storms that actually have happened, one in October, and I think one just recently before I came in June, Zanzibar has not had any catastrophic events at any capacity over 80 years. So I, not being a civil engineer or a geologist, I honestly leave that up to the experts And I figure as time goes by, somebody will come and have a solution for me, but I got to focus on the core business that I'm building right now. And I feel safe that God has put me in the right place at the right time. I don't want to ignore it at the same time, but there's nothing really I can do about it immediately because I am extensively invested in where I am now. And then I can go do the projects pertaining to that after I complete these, if that makes sense. But right now, I'm just going to bet on history that has been good for 80 years. And then we're going to get the reports as they come through. And then I'll use my expertise to actually find the right person to handle that for us. But so far, that has not been a problem. And I expect that, we'll be good. But in terms of insurance, yeah, we'll insure everything that we have to insure pertaining to our assets.
Yeah, that's
And
what
that's
I was
really
going to ask is what the insurance, what does insurance look like in Zanzibar, right? Is it the same structured system that we have here?
It's similar, but at the same time, it's not. So in essence, they don't have the same guarantees and the reinsurance companies. You have to establish them yourself. And then depending on the size of the project, most developers have the insurance first. And then when they turn it over to you, you get individual insurance based on the value and expectation. So here's what happens. The Zipo company has to come in and inspect your assets when it's first being developed. Then when it's completed, so they can reevaluate it, and then you have to go and apply for those certain types of insurances. So we're going through that process right now. We still have our coverage under our development aspect of our business. And now when we turn it over and officially take all the keys, then we go into that phase, and that's where they're appraising our properties right now. And then they give us quotes on what that will be. So I'm learning that process right now. And that's one of the reasons why I was in Zanzibar for 6 weeks. So those are great questions. And again, we're setting precedent for a lot of stuff that's being done there. A lot of people, as Tajir talked about, they don't have insurance because they've been owning the land and stuff like that for ages. There's not really been a concern. But as we come in and we modernize the economy and make it more industrial, we have to protect our assets and we have to protect ourselves and indemnify us from accidents of, accidental deaths and stuff like that. Now, and case in point, and I'm always transparent. So in one of the developments that sits off the sea that not owned by me, a child that was like 17 was swimming out in the ocean. And unfortunately, the currents took his life.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have a policy and a plan in place, and they kind of reacted to it very slowly. And some of the foreigners were upset about it, but they have this mindset. It's called pole pole. Everything is, sit back, relax, no rush. And most of the people that are born there, they're extreme expert swimmers. So nobody thought it was a big deal seeing a 17-year-old swim out in the Indian Ocean. But the reality is they reacted far slower than we would have, might have saved that kid's life. And then there were donations because they didn't have life insurance.
Right.
If that makes sense. So we're getting the chance to start dictating and building the new policies and the infrastructure in that regard. And we literally have to take it one step at a time, because here's the one thing they don't like about me. They say I'm a little bit too assertive. So we had to change our narrative and become a little bit. Oh yeah. I couldn't believe it. So in all actuality, Tawana, yeah, they said, you're pushing us too much, DJ. And we said, well, we have a level of standards as Americans that even Europeans don't have. And we got to be able to protect our asset. So now we took a little bit more laid back approach, but we're still firm in our expectations, and it's been a little bit better received. So we're going through the soft skill sets now to make sure that the assets that we have that are protected, and they see the value of listening to us because we have invested and we created jobs and we're creating schools and we're creating philanthropy and healthcare and stuff like that for the indigenous people and irrigation. So we're starting to focus on that part so we can get more favor, even though we already put millions of dollars in the ground. And in America, you would automatically get that favor. There, it's not. So I'm learning that lesson.
Understood. Ms. Patrice says, have you had island challenges like water, trash disposal? She says you might want to get a recycling partner and food acquisition. Let's talk a little bit about the provisions and the services that are available.
Cool. Well, I'll let Darren answer that. And here's what I want to preface this. Do us a favor this. I appreciate the questions, and they're great questions. But understand this. Everything that we're doing, the devil's in the details. We are doing the work as vast as we can, but don't allow it to you to miss the opportunity. Does that make sense? Because a lot of times, if I can't answer exactly your question on this little minor detail, you might say, man, I don't think that's worth it. But at the same time, we'll invest in a mutual fund and don't even know what a 12B1 fee is.
Yeah,
So
I don't,
Darren,
again, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. This is what we call due diligence, right?
Oh,
They're
yeah,
asking all
absolutely.
those questions that they want to know, and then
Absolutely.
they typically
Absolutely.
do
I
is they
just try to
give
continue
away.
to educate because
Yeah,
I've dealt with a variety of different investors.
I think you're good. I think this group, they're going to ask you these questions in real time. They're going to take it away and do some additional research on their own because that's the due diligence that we teach them to do. I don't think anyone here will be discouraged by your answer. I love that you're being very transparent and honest about how you've come into this space early, right? And you're making some changes that is going to take some time to make them look like things look for us, right?
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And that's really what we want to
I think
articulate.
you've made that very, very clear. I do. I think you've set yourself aside clearly as being a leader in Zanzibar. And I love how you jokingly said, they're saying you kind of pushed them a little much because I can see that, right? Because you've got this go-getter energy. Let's get this done, and they're still paying attention to you, right? They just need a little more time because, like you said, they just got all of this money infused, right? They've got all of this development infused. I could imagine behind those closed doors of government, their heads are swimming, right? They're probably thinking, this is great, but what the heck are we gonna do and how fast can we do it? So I love that. I love that you're going to be at the forefront of that, right? They're going to start, if they haven't already, inviting you behind that closed door to get your opinion on how are things done in other places, right? Or what do you recommend? And that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful seat to have where you can help them come into this new era of who they are becoming. So I think it's just a wonderful position you and your team have been put in. Chandra says, what healthcare options are available? Are there hospitals, clinics, house calls, etc.? House calls could be another business, Chandra. What's that look like?
Darren is the perfect person and Taja are the perfect people to answer that question.
We still need to go to Patricia's question. I missed Patricia's question too about the other services.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Darren.
Okay, so to answer those questions, so one, yes, we are affected by like power outages, but they're like brownouts. So it's like, okay, it's out for 10 minutes, or you rarely, I don't think it's ever been that we've had everything out for a whole day or even half of a day. So it's like a brief electricity turns off, turns back on type of thing. Wi-Fi, same thing. Food, abundance. But I literally, but more food than you could ever get in America. I promise you that. That literally you walk outside and there are banana trees, mango trees, this tree, that tree. There's cow. The people live with the animals, and I mean literally symbiotically. Like this probably sounds very bad, but your dinner is probably walking beside you that morning. Like
that is not bad. That's fresh. That's organic. That's right. That's what we want to put in us so that we too can stay the healthiest, right? Not all of this foolishness that we get forced to eat here in America. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Literally, like I have videos that maybe at some point I was sent to you guys. Like I've literally been walking and they're like, yeah, do you want this at 12 o'clock? Like, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you can give it to me at 12. So yeah, there's no problems with food. And again, there's converters. So a big thing that is done here for us, because we are modern, of course, so we have washers and dryers and this and that. So a lot of people, including us, we have converters in place. So even if the power switch is off, it's gonna, be automatically turned back on with the converter. So
and the power, are the power brownouts, are they scheduled? Like I forget what country I was in, but it wasn't, it was a scheduled brownout. So it happened every so many hours, but you knew it was coming. Is it more like that or just happens randomly? Yeah, Tracy, it was South Africa. Tracy, you're right. It was South Africa. They were planned.
No, it's random and it's not all the time. So say for example, since I've been here, there's been one.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not like an everyday thing or something like that. And that's why for us and the properties that we're building, we have those converters in place because you don't feel it. It's like a 10-second thing because automatically you get these automatic, they're expensive, but switch on converters to where it's off and then it's back on. So a lot of the good things to have in place is everything here in Africa is not all electric either. And I actually see that as a blessing. I say we should keep it that way, because when you do have these things happening, you are still good to go. Yep.
Very,
Yep.
very good. And talk a little bit about healthcare.
Yes. So actually, I actually have really bad sinus problems, like extremely bad. So every time I come here, when I first get here, I get sick every single time because of the climate change.
Right.
So there's actually literally a 100% up to date clinic, you would call it, or like urgent care or whatever, like completely modern, like right across the street. And they have the exact same medicine that I use in the United States. And it was like, for the medicine, it was 5,000 shillings. So it was $2. So yeah, that should answer. I believe Tajir said he went to the doctor one time. It was $30. Like, that's literally, and you're getting top notch. Yeah. So where we are, I'm not saying, you know, in the middle of nowhere that's what they have, but where we are, where we're building, that is the service you have. You have the same type of medications, the same level of the doctors. You know, they usually go to school overseas and come back. That's usually all the doctors, you know, what they've done. So they 100% exist. You'll see in the major areas where we are, there's urgent cares, there's actual clinics, and there's hospitals.
Yep, all within a 15-minute walk or bike ride from you. Literally, our condominium, it's a 5-minute walk. The hospital is about a 10-minute bike ride from us as well. And as reference to the brownouts, the main majority of superpower is actually brought to the island from the mainland. And what a lot of the developers are doing, we provide commercial generators to offset any brownout. So in our townhouses that we're completing, we're putting in our own commercial generators, and we're just basically making that because we use more power and wattage than the normal people that come over there. So we basically have to, incorporate that into our structure of how we're building. So that's one of the things that we're learning that's totally different. We're massive consumers as opposed to the people that come there from the European countries. So that's one thing that's going to give us a unique playing advantage to Americans, no matter what they look like, is because the Pom Pom Lifestyle Resort and the technology that we're incorporating with Grab TV is going to be akin to what you're used to here in America. So you're going to see that that's a major advantage. And here's what I mean by this. So most people that I engage with, Tawana, Apple users or Google users. I'm an Android guy. So in our townhouses, in our townhouses specifically, if it's all laid out for Apple, our Grab TV can actually allow that to interoperability work with Google, interoperability to work with Samsung by a barcode. Nice. That means I can control it from here and control all the Apple things. You can't do that anywhere in the world. I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, interoperability. Okay. So that we bring to the table as well. And that's going to be one of the burgeoning technologies that we're not only adding over there, but we're actually doing it here in America already. So that's something that people should be excited about also. So we're building a lot of things that are forward thinking with the AI that we're slowly building, methodically. And after the 5 years of having all the foundation, and as we're rolling out these first, phase of this initial ancillary business, we're going to take a year or two to build the 4th, 5th, and 6th final phases. So when we get to 2027 and that economy is booming, making hundreds of millions, we're going to be looking over the horizon to 2030 to actually scaling up as we just like Bonvoy and just like Marriott. That's really where we are in our thought process, why we even came to Zanzibar in the first place. And I just want to let people know that I actually tried to invest in Mexico and invest in what's called Hotel Escarre. I literally took their blueprint because I sat down with their COO and I tried to invest. I'm bringing that to Zanzibar. See, that's the difference. So ladies and gentlemen, what you're getting here is an opportunity truly to get into a master community that'll roll out houses no different than a master developer here. And it looks like us, for us, by us. That's the beauty of it. We just got to jump on board and enjoy the ride. So we're excited. This is an exclusive offer for everybody. August 26th, we're closing out the opportunity. Well, here's what we're doing also exclusively for your group is that anybody that invests with us by August 15th, we're going to throw in a free trip. We're not going to pay for your airfare, but we will give you 7 days, 6 nights. And if you invest at 25 or higher, I think it's the $50, we give you 2 weeks and handle everything for you just to say thank you for investing with us to show you how this thing can grow. I really am excited about 2027, 2028, 2030, because when I first came here in December 2021, when I had the opportunity, I just had some dirt that I was able to buy. And now that dirt, which Tajir showed video, is everything that we've done. And this is what I want to leave people with, Tawana, is this. 3 questions that you ought to ask anybody once you do your regular vetting. Number 1, DJ, show me the equity and ownership in everything that you try to market, produce, or sell me on that you actually own 100%. That's number 1. I'm going to show you that I own resorts, townhouses, condominiums. I own beachfront property. I own transportation, tours. I own it 100%, ladies and gentlemen. And I only had about 50 investors to come on board with us. And in the process of doing that, I've invested millions of my own hard money to show you I'm a real believer. So that's number 1. Number 2, and this is what Shalamantu and Larry can attest to. DJ, show me how I can access your network to execute my dream to make my wishes come true. Forget about you, DJ. So when I got Gus on the phone, I helped Larry get in the front of the line so that his dream can come true for his ladder business. I also said, Larry, tell you what, I'm going to help you raise capital through my network to fund your ladder business, regardless, even though I need capital for this next enterprise that we're endeavoring. Grab TV, we helped them raise several $100,000s in the course of 30 days, even when I still needed a couple of $100,000 myself, because I've been taught if you help other people, you will always have help when you really need it. Absolutely. And then the third question is, if I can show you equity and ownership, I can show you how to access my network like you allowed me to access the 10K project. The third question is real easy, ladies and gentlemen. How do I enroll and get started and don't hem and haw? That's really what it boils down to. So the call to action is real simple. This is a 30-day exclusive offer. We're raising $1 million. We haven't raised not $1 because this is the first presentation we've done. We only asking the 10K project to come up to the table and set a record and invest $250,000 with us and own equity in one of those 4 ancillary businesses in that one category. And if you do it by August 15th, I'm going to give you a free trip just to say thank you. And it'll be equivalent, most likely, to your investment. So instead of touring Zanzibar, own it and get the trip for free with DJ Money.
And I just want to add a note, and we'll get to the last questions because it's getting late. But I want to rephrase something you just said. They don't have to pick just one option. If they go in group economics, they can get a piece of all of them.
There you go.
So we're not thinking with limiting beliefs here, right?
There
right?
you go.
And so think about that when Larry told you to get on the phone and call your cousin, your uncle, your grandma too, right? And so this is what you're going to be doing, assembling a team, right? Creating an LLC. We've got the plan for you in the Knowledge Center, right? Go back to the Family Bank series. We tell you how to set it all up. We give you everything you need. And you can do that by August 15th, right? So you can still get the special, right? Because it don't take long, right? Yeah. So inform this thing, and you can get a piece of everything if you do it right? Even amongst yourselves here, there's an opportunity for group economics. And Anonymous is asking, how do they get the money to you? And Anonymous, what if you go to the link and look at the offer, it gives an opportunity for you to fill out your contact information. DJ, talk about that process, because I know you like to talk individually to each of your investors. You're not just taking people's money. This has got to be a good fit. You vet. And so talk a little bit about that.
Thanks a lot, Tawana. So just to let the gentlemen and women know, I have a financial background, ran a financial planning company for 10 years. So before anybody invests with me, I actually do a audit on them to make sure that they can afford to invest in anything. So example is, let's say you have $100,000 net worth. I will only ask you to invest 5% that you can afford to lose. because I can't guarantee you everything I'm showing you is going to work. There's going to be some ebbs and some flows, if you understand. So case in point, we bought land in July. We thought we'd have it fully developed in our townhouses and been completed by May. The townhouses won't be ready until August. So some people get nervous when they experience that, and some people are overextended. So what we do is have a little questionnaire that when you hit the link, it'll ask you 4 basic questions. What's your income? What's your asset? And how much return are you looking for? Are you looking for cash flow, which is passive, or are you looking for a rate of return in a short period of time? Once we figure that out, then we engage you and see the liquidity of the money you have to order to invest, where if it doesn't go on your timetable, you won't lose your house or your car, because I will not take your money ever if you try to give me your last dollar, because in the industry, in the security business, there's compliance. And I am proud to say in my 12 years of being in the financial service business as a owner of a boutique firm, I never had a complaint against my license, because I always indemnified the people. And compliance wise, when they invested with us, 70% of their assets had to be liquid in order for them to invest, because our minimum quota, Tawana, was $5 million. So I wasn't dealing with, low entry people. I was dealing with the top 1%. And I use that same philosophy in everything that we invest with today. So that's very important. So it's 4 basic questions. It takes 30 seconds to answer. And then from there, you show us what you have. We make sure that you're not taking this from your home or your car. And then we say, let's go ahead and put you in the right box. Or we try to partner you up with somebody who already meets that qualification to help you get into the investment.
Very good. I'm going to skip to Anonymous's question. So this Anonymous, I want you to go back and I want you to watch the replay, because I think you missed a little something. Tajir, can you go back to the slide, the next to the last slide, where there's, or the last slide where the circles are? Can you go back?
Yeah, please do.
So the Anonymous that's asking this question. So what DJ said was he was raising he's raising $1 million. He wants the 10K project to contribute 250,000 of that, right? He's wanting us to benefit from at least $250,000 of that. So that's where you got the 250. So it wasn't $250. It's 250,000 he's hoping to raise from the 10K project community. Here are the investment options. And so I want you to go back and listen to the whole presentation so you don't miss anything. But here are the options. So option 1 is the cleaning business, right? And you see the terms there. Option 2 is the laundry. So that 10,000 is the minimum investment. That 14,000 is the minimum investment. So when we talk about the opportunity to do group economics, that's when you call a couple of your cousins, y'all each do, 2,500, right? To DJ, you're one investor because you'll create an LLC, right? So that's what we're referring to. So it's not $250. It's actually 250,000 they're trying to raise. But here are the opportunities that have been presented to you.
And another thing, Tawana, if you do have only 2,500 to invest, you can't meet. So still call us, because we have people that have $7,500.
Right.
Because we live, eat, and sleep our 5 core principles: cooperative economics, professional network, ecosystem, equity, and ownership. So this is where a lot of people miss out, because, oh man, I only had 5,000, but you didn't call us and we didn't vet you, and you didn't know we had somebody else had 5,000 just waiting in the queue.
That's a very good point. So on the link that Talisha's been putting in the chat all evening, please click on that link if this is something that you're interested in finding more about, or getting more detail, asking additional questions that maybe you haven't thought of yet this evening, or you don't feel comfortable with this evening. Reach out. The form allows you to put your name, your contact information in, and someone from DJ's team will be in contact with you to give you some more information. Ms. Patrice is giving a suggestion that hopefully you've got solar and wind incorporated in your development. Ms. Patrice is always looking out.
Well, I will tell you this, we already answered that. We answered that question. You just didn't ask us that question. We're ahead on technology and solar, and also on electrical. What's the organization? Help me out here, Tajir. We're ahead on those. Tajir, we have the bikes and the solar that we already have people coming out. We've actually been getting bids specifically for that. And also through Larry, he also brought us technology on the solar side as well. So Larry introduced us to a big player, and we've been negotiating terms with them over the last 6 weeks. And then another group we've been working with for about 4 months. So that part we're ahead of. The geographic evolution of the, you know, the diminishing of the island, that's somebody else. But solar, electricity, and
You got
cordless,
that down.
we on top of that part.
I love it. Ms. Patrice, that's great. And then the final question is kind of talking about, so it says, is there hope to transition or to ferry from the continent to the island? Then they're asking, do you need a passport? You said that Zanzibar was a peninsula, therefore, can you drive back and forth to Tanzania?
So I will let Darrenay answer that question because she can handle it. As a matter of fact, hey, Shalamantu, turn your camera back on. I don't want you to think we left out because Shalamantu can answer it. Shalamantu has been up and down the peninsula as well as in the mainland. Hey, Shalamantu, you still there? He might have fallen asleep because
I'm still here.
yeah. Hey,
still here.
Shalamantu, why don't you answer that for her? Why don't you turn your camera on and answer that? Because he's done more traveling than any of us in the interior and the peninsula itself.
Zanzibar is not a peninsula, it's an island. So you take about an hour and a half to take the ferry, or you can fly in about 15 minutes. And yeah, so what was the other part of the question? Let's go.
So they wanted to know, so how easily can you transition from Tanzania to Zanzibar, is really the essence of the question.
Yeah, so you can take a ferry, or you can fly pretty quickly, and it's pretty inexpensive. And if you do get a chance, if you were to come out here and visit, it's a good idea to check out the rest of the mainland, what they call mainland Tanzania, especially. Actually, all of it. It's one of the most beautiful countries on earth, I'd say. In the north, they have the mountains, and there's the large cities, Mwanza, Dodoma, Dar es Salaam, and Arusha's personal favorite. And then there's small towns where you get a small town feel in the mainland. But yeah, that's that. That's that on that.
The final question was, have there been any challenges with China?
I haven't had any personal challenge, but I can tell you this. 6 years ago, there was hardly nobody from China. And once China brokered a deal, what they're doing like they did in Jamaica, they're bringing people from China to do the work. And they're basically, I hate to say this, but they're bullying the government. So that's the negative, but they're never going to tell you that. But don't let that get you concerned, because we're doing the same thing in a nice way. Again, you put your money in, and what we're doing, just like with Shalamantu, he partnered up with us. We're going to bring the professionals and the workers over to Africa to give us as much leverage as possible. Because at the end of the day, I love Africa, but I got to protect our investment the best way we possibly can. And if I can bring the sharp professionals and workers from here to there and give them a better way of life and better protect our economy based on our mindset, guess what I'm going to do, which is best for you as a shareholder? I'm going to do that first and foremost.
Right. Very good. Well, this has been a wonderful session this evening. Let's go ahead and take the slide down. We can be big again on the screen, and I want us to give our final statements. First of all, thank you all for joining us this evening, especially for those of you who are in a different time zone and it's early in the morning. So D, I don't care what Tajia says. It's nothing for me to believe that smile is sinister, okay? So
Thank you very much, Tawana. I appreciate it.
Girl, I don't believe them. But I thank you guys really for joining us. And again, DJ, thank you for coming back to the community and giving this opportunity, right? And to the community members, thank you guys for showing up. And I hope you enjoy what you see. It's easy for me to give, the call to action, right? Larry already gave it. Larry took my job away. Larry gave you the call to action already, right? But I'll just add that, there are deadlines with everything. This deal has a deadline. So if you are interested, I really do want you to call the family, right? I wasn't joking about that. This is a perfect opportunity for group economics. We're always talking about it. We've done it several times. This is another opportunity where it makes sense to do it, right? And so tomorrow morning, don't call them now because it's late, right? You don't want to get mad at you. Then when you call them tomorrow, they're gonna be like, I don't want to talk to you because you woke me up last night. So tomorrow, call the family, talk to them about it. All of you will get this replay in your email. So you'll have that tonight. T-Shine always sends it out, right? So you'll have that tonight. send it over to them, let them take a look at it, and then call a family meeting this weekend, right? And really talk to the family and say, okay, guys, this is an opportunity for us to take advantage of. It doesn't hurt to have that conversation, and have it even if in the back of your mind, you're like, no, I called them about that 3 weeks ago, Tawana, and they didn't pay no attention to it. This is not 3 weeks ago, right? We are all where we're supposed to be. And every time something is presented to us, we get to reevaluate it based on where we are in that moment. And so 3 weeks ago, somebody's mindset may have been different than it is tomorrow when you call them, right? And so I don't want you to miss the opportunity if you are interested in the opportunity. And to DJ's point, call, because even Tracy said this is one for her that she's interested in group economics on this. Some deals she's interested in just going in alone, but this one she's interested in. So if all of you call DJ and you say, I got 5 on it, right? Then DJ is going to be able to say, okay, well, I got 4 people that got 5 on it. Let's see where we're going to put them. Which deal do they want to get in? I love that. First of all, I love that DJ's gonna do that work. Typically, I'm the one putting y'all together in groups. So I love that now DJ gets to do that part of it. But that's how we're gonna do this thing, right? That's how we're gonna make this work. That's how we're gonna change the trajectory of our lives. That's how we're gonna make sure the generations after us are gonna be in better shape than we were, right? And then the generation before us was. And so this is how that thing is gonna be done. Think about everything you heard DJ say the last time he was here. Go back and watch that session if you need to, right? Also think about everything you've heard here today about the landscape of Zanzibar, how it's still very early in the development stage. That's what I heard. I don't know if y'all were listening, but what I heard is that it's still early in the developmental stages, even though they've come a long way, right? It's still early. And so the whole point of why this group exists is we're supposed to get that early seat at the tables that typically we wouldn't know about until we were tourists, right? So when you think about something like this, right, we wouldn't know about this unless we were tourists and we went to Zanzibar and saw how beautiful it was, and we'd be back on the tour bus talking about, I wish we could invest. Well, now an opportunity has been presented to you and you can make that wish before you get on the tour bus, right? And so just consider it, do your due diligence. I always tell you that. I'm never going to not tell you that. The day I tell you to don't do due diligence, it's not really me, it's a deep fake. And so I want you guys to be very clear that though, opportunities like this will not come continuously. Deals like this are typically 1 in a million because you don't see often where countries are being developed, right? Islands are not normally being developed. Typically, they're already developed when we're presented with them. So I'll stop there. Let's kind of go in order that I see you on my screen. Let's start with Shalamantu. What are your final statements to the community?
First of all, thanks for being here. And there's a couple things about this continent that we've been marketed, in the United States or Canada, North America there, that aren't accurate, right? So one of the things, like in Tanzania, it's a very stable country. So I think people should know that as far as the government, they're not fighting each other and things are going on like that. I mean, another thing that's been marketed to us a lot is that there's lots of disease and there's not enough food and things like this, or there's actually an overabundance of food everywhere here. The healthcare system is not the same as the United States or certain areas like that yet, but there are competent doctors and hospitals here, and it's very welcoming. So like we were talking before about the policing, it's nothing like you can imagine on the other side, like when you're in the United States, and you get those red and blues behind you, or the feeling here is unimaginable. Actually, it's something that our community needs to feel once in a lifetime when you're out here with the police. But there's a lot of things that, like I said, we were marketed over the last couple hundred years that are not accurate, and if you come here, you'll enjoy yourself. So that's what I want to say. And not just enjoy yourself. If you've never been here to the continent before, you'll leave as a different person, but upgraded. You won't think the same about things again in a good way. So that's what I want to say. And thanks for listening to us.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening. Dee, you're next on
Uh-huh.
my screen.
Okay, everyone, again, thank you for listening to our presentation. And I will speak to Tajir's point because I am too a business owner, very overworked, modern woman, I guess, in the way that, people like to say. And I was very stressed when I came here. I'm not to his point. And honestly, coming here completely changed the trajectory of my life, like not just the way I was feeling like my life. So I'm not even speaking to you from an investment standpoint. This is really to Shalamantu's point. If ever you want to go somewhere and you want to feel at peace, that's number one. You want to feel at peace. You want to feel welcomed. You want to feel loved. And you want to be in a place that's beautiful, that's untapped. You must visit Zanzibar. And this is all investment aside. It is not a want, it is a need, because completely 24 hours later after getting here, all of my stress was gone. And I was just living in the moment. So, not to mention, I'm an investor and I'm a part of this organization. There's so much business behind it, but just as an individual, as a woman, this was necessary for me. So if you are one of those people, I highly suggest that you come here because everything you've been told is a lie. I promise you. And I don't blame you for asking the questions that you're asking, but all of it is a lie. Propaganda and the reason to keep us away, because when you look around, everyone here building outside of us, everyone here visiting outside of us is European, is Chinese, is Indian, is everything but us. And people come to me every time, especially the people who work for us. Dee, I'm so happy to see someone who looks like you guys, period, because we don't see it. So that's my parting words with this.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. Tajir?
Oh yeah, of course. So my story is a little bit different because I got to visit Kenya and spend a lot of time in Nairobi when I was a kid. So I always kind of understood the value of Africa. So I'm from New York. So I got really good at maximizing my time. I do not believe in wasting time. When I left corporate America, I was making great money in corporate America, but coming to Zanzibar and being able to have the experience I had made me say, all right, I'm going to change my whole professional career and my whole trajectory of my business to be here in Zanzibar. So at this point, I'm generally the front line for all the things that are happening. I'm everywhere, meeting everybody, doing all the things. And there's nothing else that I would rather be doing right now. So these flights are long. The flights, it's a long flight from America to Zanzibar. We spend a lot of time going back and forth, but it's all worth it because of the opportunity, the beauty, and even when we have hard, long days, to Dee's point, it's really hard to be stressed in paradise. Even if you've had a terrible day, it's really hard to not come aside and be like, you know what? Tomorrow will be better because you get to look out and see that beautiful ocean and see the trees full of fruits and vegetables around you and the fresh animals and the fresh food. It gives you a constant refreshing of your life and reminds you that, hey, I'm here for a reason. And whatever the issue is, this too shall pass. But right now, we got plenty of opportunity in front of us in Zanzibar.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. And the man of the hour, Mr. DJ, your final words to the community, sir.
My words are significance. And it's so important for us to give back and start building our children's future. That's what we're doing. And one of the great things, if you can see, the team is young, the team is vibrant, the team is smart, and we're laying the foundation and the blueprint of what significance looks like in multi-generational wealth. And I don't mean in money. I really mean in ownership of yourself, being the best and most confident person that God intended you to be without any reservations. And that's what the pom-pom lifestyle is about. The plenty of money is going to come, but the peace of mind is priceless. And that's the significance of what we're doing. For us to interlock with Shalamantu and his son and teach them about entrepreneurship in a developing country and know that 10 years from now, he has the opportunity to own anything that he wants and help out hundreds of thousands of people is amazing. To be able to have Darren to actually decide to move to Zanzibar from the West Coast and change her life. That's unbelievable. And then to have a young, sharp gentleman like Tajir come from Wall Street and be the president of this amazing enterprise, I'm just blessed. So significance is what I want to part you with. Strive to thrive in significance, and you'll never worry about money, and you'll always have peace.
Thank you so very much, DJ. To you and your entire team, again, thank you for bringing this opportunity to the 10K Project. Community members, you're up. I'll see you guys next week for another amazing presentation by another amazing Black founder. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye-bye.